It's been a long time, and with that I welcome you to my post-Duelist Advanced YUBEL deck profile. And with Duelist Advanced, two very strong decks are joining the meta, Vanquished Souls and Lunalight. And against those two, we have an okayish matchup. Against Vanquished Soul it's only okay, but I believe against Lunalight, YUBEL is pretty solid. I believe YUBEL is pretty good against Lunalight, since Lunalight puts out an unaffected monster that has a pretty beefy attack stat, Baguska, and yeah, stuff like that. They basically can, with the unaffected monster, soft ones per turn, so if they get 2 on the board, which sometimes they do, they can wipe all the special summoned monsters you control. But as we all know from the beloved Tempai format, Phantom of YUBEL works for some reason, because Konami said so, on unaffected monsters. And we can beat Baguska pretty handily with just one opening, with Engraver, we can deal with Baguska. So it's kinda a weird position, yes, if Lunalight gets all the stuff out, like you literally have no hand trap, you have to fight for it. But if you have a good engine hand and maybe one Charmy so they don't go all out, or one Ash or Droll so they end on a half board, YUBEL completely dismantles the Lunalight board. And Vanquished Soul, like, we don't really have a good matchup against Vanquished Soul, it's kinda a tie. Like, they have Holy Sue, which is the most threatening card of the new Vanquished Soul stuff by far, and we have the luxury of Phantom of YUBEL, so we kinda forced them to use Holy Sue when we want and not when they want. If they wait for Holy Sue, Phantom of YUBEL will completely cook them. And another trend I see currently in the format, I don't know if it will translate well into the European Championship or the post-Duelist Advanced format, but I see a lot of people trying bot breakers again. Since, I will talk about that later, the ratios of hand traps or of non-engine you need to play significantly goes down. And if people are playing bot breaker, brother, good luck trying to break a full combo YUBEL board. It's not happening. Like I said, it's only a big maybe. It can totally be the case that once we are playing the European Championship, everyone wants to hand trap each other to death again. I mean, YUBEL isn't really in the worst spot currently. I mean, yes, Ryziel is still a thing, it's still part of some decks, but it's not by far not as much as it used to be. And a lot of people are playing Droll and Lockbird. It's like the #1 non-engine you want to a main deck, and YUBEL is pretty good in most cases against Droll and Lockbird. It has some nasty lines under it, and maybe I will make a new YUBEL Academy video, let's see, teaching you guys some of those Droll lines. So, with all that new format and deck matchup talks out of the way, let me explain to you the post-Duelist Advanced deck profile. We still do play 2 spirits, you can't really go down with spirits. I tested it, it just won't work, especially if you play Varudres, or maybe you have 1 spirit in rotation and you have Phantom of YUBEL out, then Phantom of YUBEL won't be able to activate. Like, you need to play 2 and 1 OG YUBEL. No Terror Incarnate, I stand by that. Still, even more so after Phantom of YUBEL's limit. Like, you don't have any reason to play Terror Incarnate at all, in my opinion. And if we can go down on cards that are awkward to draw in a deck which has those anyways, like we have the Trap, we have the OG YUBEL, the Spirits, which sometimes it's okay to draw them, but you get what I'm saying. If we have a chance to go down on that, on those cards, without really sacrificing anything, I will gladly do that. And then, of course, the most loyal dog in YUBEL's history. He was there day 1 with the first wave of support. He's there with the last wave of support, hopefully not, but maybe. It's, of course, the best doggy, Shavara. And it's at 2 currently, which is interesting. We could consider playing 2, but even back then, I always told you, even if Shavara were to be unlimited, we would still only play 1. It's awkward to play 2, there are some applications to it, positive applications, but currently I don't see a reason to play more than 1, like, at all. 3 Engraver, 1 Lacrima, 1 Lurie, 2 Tracked, and the whole Fiendsmith extra deck. I mean, for some reason we can still play Engraver at 3, so let's just do that. It's that simple. It's still completely broken in YUBEL. Okay, now we get to the non-engine, and here, especially post-Duelist Advance, it gets interesting. I believe that you don't have to play a lot of hand traps anymore. Especially cards like Veiler, Impermanence, they are not doing anything, I promise you that. Especially against Vanquished Soul, you literally just hand loop yourself. Against Lunalight it's the same as any other combo deck. If they have the extender, your Veiler didn't do shit. The best hand traps by far currently are Mulchami, Fubolos and Perulia, Meowls is okayish but more niche, you don't really have to play Meowls, but Perulia and Fubalos, sadly, because Perulia is expensive as, yeah, you have to play them. And Droll and Lockbird is also pretty broken. And Ash Blossom is just, if you know the weak spots to throw it against some decks, it can be a lot better than Impermanence or Veiler. But the duality of Ash is that it can be defensive for you against the opponent's Mulcharmies, and we desperately need that. Yubel is cooked by Fubalos, but more to that later. So currently we are playing 12 hand traps. If the format forces us to, we can easily go up to 15 or maybe even more, but I believe currently it's not worth it. It's just not. Especially if you are a good Yubel player. Yubel isn't as bad going second as people make it out to be for some reason. We have an early Phantom of Yubel, we have Engraver, we have Tracked, we have the Field Spell, we have the basically free Beckoning Beast engine. It's solid going second, especially if you pair it maybe with a Drawn Called By or Talents. So if you manage to stop your opponent with the Charmies or maybe Drawn and Lockbird, you can dismantle half boards pretty handily. Only 2 Beckoning Beasts, and there's a good reason for that. Drawn and Lockbird. But not the only reason. First of all, of course, Beckoning Beast is completely bad into Drawn and Lockbird, since if you add Opening, you cannot activate Opening after you get Drolled, since Opening has to add a monster. But on top of that, we have a lot of normal summons. We have Lacrima, which sometimes you have to normal summon, and Lacrima's full combo, so that's fine. We have 2 Beckoning Beasts, 3 normal summons, 6 normal summons, and maybe sometimes Lurry, 7 normal summons. And it's weird, it's enough. I believe 6 to 5 normal summons are is the best ratio, and Opening is more or less a normal summon. I don't really consider Opening a normal summon. I mean, yes, you have to use your normal summon, but you basically also get an extra normal summon from it, and if Beckoning Beast gets in the graveyard, you get a free special summon. So Opening is pretty broken, way better than Beckoning Beast. 2 Squirmer. For this format, Duelist Advance, I believe it's really important for Yubel, I will get to that later, to have a low amount of cards in the deck. And I've tried to do maybe even 40, but the only card I'm confidently cutting would be Grave Squirmer. And I've tested it with only 1, and it's surprisingly fine. The problem is if you draw the one-off. If you draw the Squirmer and you have to use it in some way or another, you just don't have a good search for Nightmare Pain. That's the only reason why I would say, okay, you have to play more than 1. I mean, I love Squirmer, so I don't have a problem with Squirmer at all. Sometimes it's really good to draw Squirmer. I just believe that in the current format, where Charmies are literally everywhere, you just need to draw into your cards against Charmies. That's the only reason why I even considered for a small amount of time to only play 1. But 2, you just have to. There are too many awkward moments if you only play 1. And now a playset of Samsara the Lotus, the future king of the pirates, maybe. The manga hasn't ended yet. And I mean, what is there to say? It's still the best one-cut combo together with Nightmare Throne. It's a good endpot piece, it's a good extender if you have Opening. There's no reason to cut that card, please don't. We played 2 Tracked, you can play 1, maybe if you are on a budget or you just don't want to play 2, you can play 1. I mean, it's an emergency teleport into full combo, it's an extender if your normal summon gets hand trapped. I believe it's pretty good to play 2, but you can play 1 in theory. 1 Talents, it helps you to play through hand traps, going second it's very good. The card itself currently is giga broken, and I don't know why or what happened, but after its limitation, the amount of times I get by Talents has like doubled in contrast to when it was at 3. It's really good. Called by the Grave and Crossout Designator. I believe that the most threatening card for Yubel currently is by far Fubalos. Perulia isn't nearly as bad as Fubalos. The European Championship last year, if Perulia was already in every Temper list, I got hit by that multiple times, it's not as bad. But Fubalos can be a game ender for Yubel. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to keep the deck count as low as possible. Normally I don't have a problem with running 43, even 44 cards with in Yubel. Yubel can do that pretty good, maybe even up to 60. But in the current format I just want to see the non-engine that can stop Fubalos. I mean, we have Ash Blossom, we have Droll, and yes, I will draw myself under Fubalos, and there are some pretty nasty lines under it. I will maybe make even a Yubel Academy video after all those years. Regarding Drawn and Lockbird under Fubalos, I will draw myself and win if you Fuba me, trust me. So we have 6 cards, 7, 8 cards against Fubalos. which we have to play. We have to have the odds in our favor to win a big event, or to have a good chance at winning a lot of rounds in a big event. We just have to play those cards against Fuva. One Nightmare Pain, there isn't really a reason to play more than one, as long as we have Fiendsmith well established into Yubel. In the pure version, maybe there is, I mean not maybe, in the pure version we definitely play more than one. Currently in the Fiendsmith variation of the build, only play one. A playset of Opening of the Spirit Gates. That card is probably one of the best combo pieces, combo starter, maybe not combo starter, but combo pieces in the whole deck. The amount of times I see that card being underestimated by people is atrocious. Especially if you draw Opening in combination with any normal summon. On top of that, it gets so hard to stop you from playing. Opening is very busted, very good into drawing a Lockbird. Play a playset of that, please. And then you also get to experience the rush of drawing Nightmare Throne and Spirit Gates together. Oh my goodness, I love that feeling. I mean, Nightmare Throne, Ash Magnet, it's an extender, it's a one-card combo, literally the best card in the deck maybe overall, so yeah, a playset definitely. Then we get to the worst card in the deck, the trap card, the engine requirement for the Unchained Engine. I've searched for multiple ways to cut that out of the deck. There are some ways, there are combos that are still pretty good without it. The problem is that you will always have situations or opponents, non-engine the opponent has, where you realize, okay, if I had that card just in the deck, I would have won that game. So far I sadly still believe it's worth it to play that card. I am not playing Terraforming or 1-for-1, and there are reasons for that. First of all, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 one-card combos. And those aren't just the same normal summons, no, they are extenders, they work well with each other. That is more than enough. I believe especially in a format which post-Duelist Advance I believe is, where Yubel is needed or forced to keep a low amount of cards in the deck so you can find your outs against Fuvalos. Cards like 1-for-1, Terraforming, they are not needed. 1-for-1 has the downside that it has to discard a monster card, and yes, we have a few we can easily discard. Problem with that is, we already want to do that with Opening, we already want to do that with Muckraker, we already want to do that with Arbao. There is too much discard outlet already in the deck for 1-for-1 to be worth it. If this deck would have consistency issues, of course, play 1-for-1, do it. But we are not in that boat anymore. And yeah, the same goes for Terraforming. Terraforming is a good card, but I just don't want to get drolled against it. So if I start with Terraforming and they droll me, it's pretty bad. Since yes, you can still destroy Spirit Effect, bring Yubel back, but I much rather have that one search for Nightmare Pain to search Squirmer than for just one Nightmare Throne. That's the reason why I cut both 1-for-1 and Terraforming. So we played 12 hand traps and 3 non-engine to go second or beat hand traps, and yeah, a low amount of cards to see those cards against Fuvalos. It's a pretty solid deck, and with that version of the deck currently post-Duelist Advance, which I play a lot, I have the most success with it. Okay, now we move to an interesting part, and a lot of people probably already noticed, where is Necrocrypt Princess? Let me explain. First of all, I believe that if you want to play all those cards, this is the most optimized extra deck you can have. There is no card you can cut out here. I know that there are combo lines where you can get a draw out of Necrocrypt, where you can make an early Caesar, I know that, but I currently don't see value for Necrocrypt that puts it over the cards I have in the extra deck that are, in my opinion, necessary to play. There was a format where I would even consider Necrocrypt a good endboard piece, but that's definitely not the case anymore. We have Mirage, and I believe that Mirage, first of all, I love that card, but second of all, there wasn't a format where Yubel needed to play that card more than it is now. With Lunalight being very prominent, that means that a specific card will also resurface again. Baguska. And what card can out Baguska? SP Little Knight. And if we play Mirage, not only is Opening of the Spirit Gates a one-card combo without playing the Chaos Summoning Beast or whatever its name was, the brick, in the main deck, no. That also means that one Opening of the Spirit Gates can make an SP basically for free. And that is very important, since it forces the opponent to interact with it without you even using your Engraver or Yubel engine. To having that ability in combination to making one Opening of the Spirit Gates a one-card combo on its own makes Imi Rush unbelievably worth it for Yubel. I mean, I don't really have to explain the Fiendsmith stuff, do I? But I believe I have to say something about Muckraker. There are formats where I wasn't really keen on playing Muckraker, but I believe currently it's pretty good. It can make a double banish from Chaos Angel, so if you make Chaos Angel, you link Chaos Angel away, then you use Muckraker to bring back Chaos Angel to the field, then you can use its banish effect again. But that's only a small thing it can do that sometimes can come up. The most important thing about Muckraker is that it transforms cards into one-card combos that weren't one-card combos before. For example, one Lacrima, one Opening of the Spirit Gates, all of those cards are one-card combos. It just makes a lot of Yubel combos without Engraver better. If you have to use Engraver or the Fiendsmith engine to bridge into the Yubel engine via Aerial Eater, Muckraker is very essential for that part of the combo. SP Lunalight, I mean, come on, out for Baguska and pretty good with Rage. We have Yama, we have Rage. I do not have to explain those either, I hope so. Very broken card, Rage on its own. I believe, like, the more formats we go through, the more I realize that Rage on its own is unbelievably broken as a concept in combination with SP Lunalight. That card literally on its own is 3 interruptions. It's giga broken. Abao Aku, the Lightless Shadow. Oh boy, my opinion has changed regarding that card so much. There are some new combo lines, newish combo lines that utilize Abao that I believe makes it worth it. There are some pure combo lines where you have to use Engraver to bridge into the Yubel engine, where Aobao is just the MVP. It's back row out, it's a generic link 4 you can go into. I mean, it's generic in the Fiend deck. So yeah, I still stand by it. A few formats ago, it wasn't really that needed, but currently I believe that Aobao is really good, especially since it's non-target destruction, which can be broken against Vanquish Soul. Caesar is pretty good still. Even without Neko Crypt, we can make him with Shavara, Engraver, Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater can revive itself. With Aobao, we can bring back a level 6. Caesar is just worth it. Against some matchups, for example Vanquish Soul, if you can deal with its Raisin and its destruction effect, Caesar almost can solo the whole deck. My problem with Caesar is that yes, you can make it in the 2-card combo pretty easily on top of everything else, but it fights with Varudras for that spot, and an Omni Negation that on top of that has a non-target pop attached to it is just better currently. So overall I prioritize Varudras still in the 2-card combo. There are some matchups where I might consider rather going into Caesar, but Varudras is just giga broken. Caesar's use case is more or less for your help against hand trap wars. For example, let's just say you play your game and you get hand trapped 3 times. Ash, Imperm, Impulse, stuff like that. And there are some scenarios where you can't really go full combo and you know that, but you can easily go into Caesar. And maybe you end on Phantom plus Caesar and Rage, and that's more than enough against an opponent who has 3 cards less in hand. So it's for specific hand trap war situations or for the follow-up. Like if your opponent maybe half breaks your board and puts up a defense to maybe get another turn, you can easily just make Caesar in your following turn and then seal the deal. Caesar overall, pretty good, pretty worth it still, even without Neko Crypt. Chaos Angel, probably my favorite card in terms of offensive capabilities in the current Yubel deck. I mean, one Engraver makes Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel can be revived by Muckraker to get another banish since it's soft once per turn. You can overlay Chaos Angel for Varudras. It has a lot of utilization in the deck, and it's just necessary to deal with back row, maybe some annoying monsters. It's just easily accessible and a good way to clear back row, which is, I believe, needed in the deck. Aerial Eater to bridge into your Yubel stuff if you have to start with Beckoning Beast or Engraver engine. Phantom of Yubel, of course, we play as much as we are allowed to, currently sadly at 1. Fiendsmith's Desiree, because it's a good endboard piece still, it's still there in the combo. There's not much to say, it's just a broken endboard piece. The side deck is just an example. You can basically adapt it to your liking, to what you think or personally believe you need to equip yourself for. It's just an example. After a lot of Duelist advanced testing, I believe that is the best way to play Yubel. Currently, so far at least, I have the most success with it. I will of course play a lot more. I will attend the European Championship with Yubel, so I need to play a lot more. And if you have some advice or you just want to share your opinion, feel free to do that in the comment section. Until the next time, see ya.